There comes a moment in a man's life when success feels strangely hollow. This is not weakness or failure. It's the call of the crossroads, a sign that life is asking you to evolve. Hi, I'm Greg Swanson, and welcome back or welcome to another episode of the Warrior Mind podcast. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about something that's near and dear. Well, near, I don't know if it's dear to me, and that's midlife crisis in men. And I don't like to use the word crisis that much, but it's what the default society labels it. I think it's more of a midlife crossroads. And as I go through this podcast, you may tend to agree with me that it's more of a midlife crossroad than it is a midlife crisis. So, but for the sake of this podcast, I am going to be using the word crisis because it sometimes feels like it, right? A midlife crisis, it really isn't chaos. It's a confrontation. And it's a confrontation when it's the man you become collides with the man you're meant to be. So we have this, you've worked your life 20, 30, 40 years to become a person who you are, but yet that doesn't agree with the man you're meant to be. And so there's this bifurcation now, hence the crossroad of you going in one direction or you going into another direction. And the symptoms often, really appear subtle, but they can carry such depth and consequence. Persistent restlessness that really no success can quit, feeling detached or emotionally disconnected from loved ones, a longing for freedom, but not knowing what to run towards. And I can talk to all these because I experienced these several years ago when I was making my transition from corporate sales into being a coach. It took me almost 2 years to determine that because basically I didn't know who I was supposed to be. I didn't have a mentor at that time. I didn't have a coach to help me like I help men today. So I know that I felt like, what am I here to do? What am I supposed to be doing? And I kind of got detached from my wife at that point, and things just were not well. So all of these symptoms, these are just the highlights, right? There's a lot of other things, right? We get lazy, we get bored, we stop working out, we stop doing the things that we enjoy. And there's a whole bunch of stuff that happens when we face this midlife crossroads or midlife crisis, right? And it almost can feel like we're in a fog, right? And this fog represents confusion, fear, and uncertainty, yet holds hidden opportunity for growth, right? The fog, if we're in it and stay in it, we're not going to know where we're going. But if we keep moving through the fog, this will help us have this opportunity for personal growth, for physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual growth. Standing in the fog forces a man to slow down and re-examine what truly matters. Like if you're ever driving in the fog and it's really, really bad, you slow down. You slow down, you take a look at your surroundings, you take a look at things that are happening. You don't keep going pedal to the metal. Well, this is the same analogy in life, right? When we're in this fog, we don't just keep going. We're going to bump into something that's not going to be, for our best interest. So we need to slow down and examine what really matters. So this fog, this not knowingness, this blindfold that we may feel we are wearing is really a good thing because it helps us examine what is truly important to us. The fog symbolizes the unknown that every man must walk through to evolve. We all go through it. Some stay in the fog and overindulge in the numbness of it through drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling, other things. Other men walk through the fog knowing that by walking through it, they're going to get out the other side sooner. It's like bison. Bison walk into a storm because they know they're going to get through the storm quicker than if they just stand around and wait for the storm to dissipate. This is the same thing with this midlife crisis or midlife crossroad is that this fog is we need to walk through it. And if we stay in it, we're going to catch ourselves into doing probably some behaviors that don't help align us to our values and our beliefs. Clarity arrives not before the journey, but because of it. So when you think you're going to take a journey, once you get clarity, that's not what happens. You start taking the journey and then clarity arises. So here's some hidden signs, right? The most common sign of midlife crisis in men, as we've gone through these before, but just want to hit them again, is restlessness, emotional distance, lack of joy, inner disconnection. That's just a few. And there could be substance abuse in there. And there could be, sleeping all the time, boredom, watching TV endlessly. All these things are telltale signs of something is wrong. Pay attention. So these signs are for you to pay attention. They're like warning signs, red flags, red lights. These are warning signs. Your body is telling you, your mind is telling you to pay attention, right? These signs are not failures, but they are indicators of an outdated identity seeking renewal. So what this means is who you have spent the last 40 some odd years to create, it's outdated for you now. And now you have to evolve, or you can choose not to, but you can choose to evolve into the man you are meant to be. And that's where this restlessness comes, right? Before clarity comes chaos. Ignoring these signs can lead to burnout, anxiety, and deep sense of purposelessness, meaning, why am I here? I just can't. And it can get, then that depression can also deepen, and some not so favorable actions can be taken because of that. Awareness of these signs initiates personal transformation and renewed vitality. So this is what I'm hoping this podcast will do, is just bring awareness to you if you're listening. And if you're a female, yeah, there are certain things you can go through too, but if you have a man in your life, you may want to share this with him as well, because we men tend to be quiet. Oh, I'll get my way through it. It's okay. But we can band together. We can work together to move through this fog, if you will. So here's the real meaning of this midlife crisis, right? This crisis is a rebirth rather than a collapse. It marks the end of illusion, not purpose. So again, you spent 20, 30, 40 years to create this persona. And now it's just time to let it collapse, let it fall away, and let the real you come out. And the confusion and discomfort that you're feeling are catalysts for rediscovering meaning and deeper emotional strength within yourself. Releasing old roles and expectation opens up space for authenticity and peace. If you keep trying to be the same person you were before, there's no space for you to grow into the person you're meant to be. If we keep holding on, it's like if you have this suit and it's worn out and tattered, but you keep wearing it, you keep wearing it, keep wearing it. You don't have any opportunity to wear a new suit. So you need to take that suit, burn it, throw it away, put on a new suit. You are still wearing it, but it's the suit that is different. It's representing the person you're meant to be. Midlife becomes sacred when approached as an initiation into wisdom and purpose. And that what really is midlife is about. We have 12 or so rituals we go through in life. The first is birth, the second is death, we have adolescence, we have, the illusion of success, but then we have this midlife. And it's not mid-death, it's midlife. And this can be a very sacred point in your time if you embrace it as such. So when we talk about this conscious warrior, here's the conscious warrior choice, right? Is two options: to hide behind distractions and try to bury your head in the sand about this, or step boldly into the unknown of who you are meant to be. And choosing awareness requires courage, right? You have to be aware. You want to go, okay, I feel something, I'm going to take the first step. But it leads to true liberation and self-respect, because there's a lot of men out there that don't take that step, that don't have the courage to go through it. They poo it as becoming soft or whatever it might be. But when you take that courage, you're choosing awareness, you're choosing consciousness, it leads to liberation and self-respect. And every challenge faced with honesty becomes training for resilience and mastery, right? You want to do it with honesty, not be fake about it. If you like something, you like it. If you don't, you don't. If things don't fit right, they don't fit right. But you want to be able to be conscious and aware of it and embrace it, right? Discomfort is not punishment. It's the path to reclaiming your power and direction, right? When we go to the gym, we lift weights. We are hopefully your discomfort because it's so great, but you need that discomfort to grow. It's not punishment. Well, it can be sometimes, but we want to have this discomfort and look at it as it's a path to reclaiming your power and direction in life. So here's the 5-step playbook when you're facing with, if you're facing this right now. And above everything else, get a coach. If any of this resonates with you, get a coach, whether it's me or someone else. Men really need to stick together and coach each other through this time so that we can be good examples for other men and good examples for young boys out there. But here's the 5-step playbook, right? Acknowledge the call. Acknowledge that something is off. Acknowledge that, you know what, I'm not the same person I was last year, 3 years, 5 years ago. The things that interest me no longer do. I'm curious as to what is, but acknowledge this call, right? And audit the armor. That is, audit your values, your beliefs, especially your values. There's a bunch of value assessment takes tests online, or you go to a coach like myself and we can run through your values, because your values are going to tell you what's important to you about life. And we'll want to take a look at your beliefs. What do you believe about the old you? What do you believe about the new you? So this is auditing your armor, your characters, your values, your virtues, all of those things you want to take a look at. And then you want to reconnect to purpose. If you don't have a purpose, if it's just to make money, we may want to take a deeper look into that. But we want to find that purpose within you. And there's a lot of purposes out there, right? But we want to find the one that really resonates and ignites your fire. And then we want to define what masculinity looks like after 40, right? Before 40, it was macho, being an alpha and being an a-hole perhaps, and other things. And after 40, some of that stuff starts to fade away, drift away, or be stripped away. So you want to redefine, because you're not going to be the same person before 40 that you are after 40. So you need to identify that and redefine what masculinity looks like after 40 for you specifically. And then you want to seek alignment with that. So you audit your armor, you have your values, your virtues, your beliefs, you redefine your masculinity, you reconnect to your purpose. Then you connect all of those together and seek alignment, not escape. It's going to be challenging. It can be frustrating. It can be very tumultuous, but you don't escape it. You seek alignment. So here's some final thoughts on this, right? If these signs hit home, you're not broken. You're being called to awaken. Yes, you. The fog is your teacher. The crossroads is your proving ground. Recognizing the signs of midlife crisis in men is the first step towards mastery. And I hope this podcast helped you with just maybe questioning yourself where you are. If you're between 35 and 55, some of these signs are going to start to percolate up in your life. So sit with them, get with a coach, get with me, get with somebody and start to talk about them, right? But mastery at midlife means integrating strength, depth, and direction, the essence of the conscious warrior's path. Mastering the signs of midlife crisis in men transform this stage from confusion to creation. If you want to see the show notes on this podcast, you can visit warriormindcoach.com. While you're over there, you can find more useful information in the sign of other podcasts, as well as blog posts. While you're over there, you can also request your power strategy call. Since you'll be on the internet, please follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest, all under Warrior Mind Coach.